Hey, Internet. Quick one for you today. This has come up a few times with a number of folks. New players tend to get stuck sending their head forward with their shoulders when they throw. And that makes it very hard to brace well and makes it very hard not to spin out because you have this big 20-pound thing rotating forward and it's nothing's going to stop it. So the first step to avoiding that is don't do a walk up. And if you're going to do a walk up, make sure you're keeping your head and your hips centered. So the thing that screws that up the most is like a good-ish walk up will look like this, where everything is kind of staying centered. So I'm here, and then I'm going to turn sideways, and everything's going to go sideways. So if I just repeat my X step over and over, it's like that. It's not X step, reach back into oblivion, and then throw. So you don't want to crank your head over. You don't want to crank your shoulders over. So I think the best way to figure this out is from a standstill. You can do it in the context of my one leg drills as well if you're hip to that. But any stance works. But all we're going to do here is we're going to limit the hip shift a little bit because it's a standstill. And we're going to limit the head movement a lot. So I'm going to look at a point on the ground there, and I'm just going to keep my head there during my reach back and during my throw. And on my follow through, this arm coming through is what's going to move my head up. So I don't want to throw and keep my head there for no reason. I want to keep my head there until something else moves it. So to demo this incorrectly, this is what a lot of new players do. They will turn too far back and then throw with their head coming forward, which makes them tend to over-rotate a little bit too much. So what we want instead, and start low and slow on this one. Find success, start like comically slow. So I'm gonna look at a spot on the ground about 10 feet away from my feet, and I'm gonna reach back and I'm gonna throw. And then only when my shoulders come through is my head gonna move. So I'm gonna keep my eyes there as long as I can, within reason, and that's pretty much it. So then once you've got the idea, you can speed it up a little bit and try to go, don't go for like max power right off the bat, but you can increase the power slowly. Make sure that you film and keep your eyes on your target spot 10 feet away from your feet. So reach back, find your spot, reach back and throw. Making sure that you don't have too much spin out, which I will demo currently. So offhand comes into play here because you want your offhand to help you anchor the way that I coach. You don't have to, it can just be a placeholder, but you don't want to cue up too much rotation. So that would look like this in a punch through, which will cause too much over rotation. I'll demo that. And you spin around too much, so don't do that. Just find a spot with your eyes, stay there, start at a low power where you don't even have to follow through, and then increase the power and find the spot where your offhand coming through brings your head up naturally. All right, good luck.